What if I told you that it's possible to be completely fully booked thanks to past clients either returning or referring? That is reality for today's guest, who clearly doesn't do things in halves. A quick look at either his Instagram or website is proof of that, with not only stunning images, but useful information and beautiful design too. So it isn't a surprise to learn that his client experience is also seamless. Today's episode, we broke down exactly what that experience looks like to make his clients tell all of their friends and to keep coming back for new shoots.
Welcome to the Pet Photographers Club. Tune in as experts share their insights to help grow your business with higher sales, creative marketing, and kick-ass business strategies. Now on to the show.
Hello and welcome to season 15, episode 11 of the Pet Photographers Club. I'm your host, Kirsty McConnell, and today I'm chatting with Carlos Alanis, and I am really struggling to remember how to pronounce your name properly, Carlos. I've been repeating it over and over as we've been chatting in my head to make sure I got it right. Guys, listeners, you will probably know that pronunciation of different languages to my own, which is English, is a big struggle street for me, but I do try my best to get it right. But Carlos, I'm going to hand over to you now and let you introduce your business to everybody and let the listener know where you are in the world and what it is that you're doing over there.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me, Kirsty. And your pronunciation was perfect, so don't worry about it. So yeah, I'm based in Canada in a city called Gatineau, which is mostly French speaking. So you probably noticed that I have an accent and my first language is actually French. And that city is located right beside Ottawa, which is the capital of Canada. And I launched my pet photography business back in 2019 as a part-time pet photographer. So I'm still a part-time pet photographer as of now. So I have a full-time job as well. And my full photography journey began back in 2016. That's where I bought my first camera. And so most photographers, I think, when you buy your first camera, you just kind of take photos of everything, just experiment, have fun. And so that's pretty much what I did. I was taking pictures of our cats, of my girlfriend, my food, and just being annoying by taking photos all the time. And so a little bit later, we adopted our dog Gwenny, which became my main model, and I was just taking pictures of her all the time and practicing. And yeah, so basically, my girlfriend Nancy, she started her own business as well around that time. And her business is basically having group workouts with dogs. And so the people are working out and then the dog is having basic obedience. And I would help her out a lot at the beginning, and I would bring my camera as well. So I would take pictures of her courses of the participants with the dogs, and that would kind of help her out with her social media. But for me, I would use that for my portfolio as well. So at that time, she kind of noticed that I really love photography. So she gifted me at Christmas that year a in-person photography course. So that's where I kind of really unlocked my creative side, and I really fell in love with photography. So I learned all the fundamentals of photography and how to use your camera in full manual mode and all that good stuff. So, and around that time, I also discovered this pet photographer in Quebec, which was doing that full time and just going around the province of Quebec and taking pictures of, pets, cats, dogs, and horses. And I was just amazed by how someone can just, do that full time. And that's where I decided to kind of look around in my area and see if anybody else was doing that. And I discovered there was just one person doing that part time in my city. And in Ottawa, there was maybe two or three. I don't remember, but there was not a lot of people doing that. And I knew it was growing really fast in some areas in the world, United States and Europe. And so I decided, you know what, I'm gonna launch my own pet photography business. And so that's how it actually started. And I was taking pictures of friends' dogs, and then I did this giveaway at one point, and that just kind of blew up. And from there, it just went up. So yeah, that's pretty much my whole journey. And so now I'm at maybe almost 5 years doing that. And now I kind of want to transition into education where I would kind of teach others or help others learn pet photography. So, yeah, that's pretty much my whole journey.
All right, so Carlos, we have so many things to unpack from that, but let's start with one of the first things that you said was that you're doing this part time, which I never would have guessed because your website is amazing. And I'm going to get into that later on, maybe in the first half, but at least in the second, if not the first half of
Thank you
the
so much.
episode. I see you worked with a professional in that. So I want to touch on that, but I've bookmarked that for later. Your socials are like your Instagram is like definitely, you're doing everything right. You've got a huge following, lots of engagement. You're keeping busy with that. I never would have guessed that you're part-time. So is that fine for you? Like, is your goal to keep it this way? You want to keep doing your other job and then, like you just mentioned, a bit of coaching or whatever as well? Or would you really love to be able to quit, your other job and be full-time as a photographer and in the in a bit of education space as well?
Yeah, actually, I would love to go full time. That's one of my plans. Obviously, with the financial stability, my job, I have been doing my job for 16 years. And obviously, there's like advantages to that. So you have like vacations and days off and, insurance and pension and all of that. So that's a hard decision to make to go full time with my business, but it's definitely something I want to do. But I would probably go more on the educational side. So photography would still be part of my business, but less of my business. So I would kind of have like this limited sessions for clients. But yeah, I wouldn't really want to focus on like the educational part, something that I've been thinking about for a long time. And helping others is something I really love doing. So yeah, I definitely want to kind of bring that to a full time eventually.
Okay, amazing. I'm always interested when I hear people say, yeah, I'm part-time. I would love to go full-time, but I have all these benefits of my work like vacation time. I mean, I understand the others, pension, insurance, etc., but vacation time, Carlos, come on. When you're self-employed, you can have as much vacation time as you want.
Yeah, but it is hard though, because when you're self employed, you just want to always, anyways, for me, that's for me. I always want to work. I just want to like build on my business and make it grow. So it's kind of hard to take vacation. I feel, anyways. I don't know if it's your case, but I feel like it would be hard.
Okay, well, I think it's really important to know your own personality, that's for sure. I have the opposite problem. I would just be on vacation all the time
Oh,
if I
really?
didn't have bills to pay.
I guess I'm a workaholic.
Well, I think, that's got its pros and cons as well. And
Yeah.
there was a stage in my life that I was certainly in that category as well, but things changed and that's okay as well. All right, so let's move along from why you're keeping your other job at the moment. We understand that. I'm sure that resonates with lots of the listeners as well. But it's really nice to hear that you've got this goal and that you're working towards that as well. So with that in mind, how many clients do you have capacity for each year? How many photo shoots can you do, paid photo shoots per year, Carlos?
So, not last year, but the year before in 2022, I had 30 sessions. And that was like pretty much the max, I would say. I would feel like having a full time job and having that many sessions, it's hard to manage with like responsibilities and friends and family and activities. So, yeah, 20 to 30 would be for me a fully booked year.
Okay. And I mean that totally makes sense if you're working as well in another job as well. I'm guessing also when I have a look at your work, which is just beautiful. And guys, if you haven't already seen Carlos's work, make sure you head over to the show notes and you click on the link to his website because well, the website is beautiful, as I mentioned before, but the work is really stunning. So I'm going to guess, Carlos, and please correct me if I'm wrong, that you must spend quite a bit of time, well, first of all, getting it right in camera, but then also quite a bit of time in post as well, in editing. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I do spend a lot of time in editing. But yeah, I try at most, as much to take it in camera right the first time, but then editing is a big part of the whole process. So
Well, yeah, to obtain the beautiful look that you have and the consistency
yeah,
between shoots, then yeah, certainly you would need to do that. So, how much time are you spending on average per client shoot?
good question. Per client shoot, I would say probably honestly, like it's hard to say in matter of time because I'm not constantly working on it. So if I have a session, I'll have like one session on a weekend. And then it's probably going to take me like a whole week to finish off the whole, like a whole session, editing and sending the client photos and all of that there. So I'd say around a week, but technically it's maybe, I don't know, maybe 20 hours, 15 to 20 hours in total, depending on how many photos they
Hmm.
take, packaging and all of that, like printed products. And yeah, maybe 20 to 30. I'm not sure.
Yeah, okay. So when you consider that you're doing that part-time, then certainly there isn't really much time to do more than 20 shoots or
No,
30
exactly.
shoots a
It
week.
almost, no, exactly. And it almost it all almost becomes like a full time at one point, because you're almost like you're working a lot on that business and it becomes kind of full time. So yeah.
Mhm. Now, all of these questions I'm asking you, they actually are leading somewhere for the listener as well. I was just wanting to get a really good picture for what it is that you're doing, what your week looks like, how much time you're spending on these clients, because I saw a post of yours a while ago saying that you were fully booked for last year purely from past clients. And I wanted to get an understanding of what fully booked actually means. And I mean, yeah, at 20, 30, when you did 36, you said, I mean, that's not just a couple of shoots here and there. I mean, that's almost one a fortnight, I suppose, sometimes one a week in higher times, I guess. So, okay, we have to get into this a little bit. I want to touch on it before we have to break. So, please, that post that you put up, you have to tell us more about it. So, you said you were fully booked and it was purely from past clients. So, does that mean that you were only photographing dogs or full clients who you'd photographed before? Or was there also like friends and family of past clients as well included in that?
Yeah, for sure. Friends and family included, not only past clients, but it's mainly, when when clients have like a really good experience, they will obviously talk about it and share their experience. So that brings more clients. So really concentrating, focusing on that aspects of like giving the best experience possible, that definitely has its advantages. So yeah.
Okay, so it included some referrals and everything. And everything was organic, or did you have a particular strategy in place to make sure that your past clients were either booking again or getting a friend to book?
Some of them was organic, but I did every year. So every year in the beginning of the year, I do a giveaway, which works really well. We can talk about it later on if you want. But this giveaway actually kind of it's based on clients who already booked a session the previous year, and so it becomes like kind of a win-win situation for me and them. And it also like brings a lot of some of their friends and family and acquaintances. So yeah, there's a bit of kind of self promotion, but that's the only one I did last year. Usually I do a little bit more throughout the year. Last year, that's the only one I did, and I even then I still kind of booked a full calendar for the full year. So
Amazing. So, Carlos, sorry, that strategy you're talking about though, is that our based off our pet of the year competition, or is it something different?
yeah, kind of. Yeah, exactly. Basically it's like everyone who had a session with me, they are automatically into this giveaway where they can win a free session with digital photos and printed products. And so basically they have to kind of have the most votes for their pets. And so they share with their friends on social networks. And so yeah, that brings a lot of more of their friends or family or whatever as clients.
Okay. Well, I think the listeners probably heard about that strategy or a version of. I don't know if you're doing exactly step by step as we sell in our guide, but they've heard about that strategy through the Peptovers Club before. So I think what we should do is go and focus more on the organic and find out what it is you're doing to make your clients want to come back year after year and also refer you like organically to their friends and family as well. So do you think that there is something, or is there something that you're strategically doing to ensure that the client does tell their clients, or is it purely does tell their friends, or is it purely just that you're giving them such a great experience that they're just telling everybody anyway?
I'm pretty sure it's like the experience because I'm not doing anything else in order to kind of bring them back, if you will. So yeah, I'm pretty sure it's like the whole experience they're getting. So that can be from like session, from the beginning to the end of the session. That can be from like having a session guide, a location guide, or any type of guide where they can have more information and be more prepared and know exactly what to expect. And then like most photographers they do is like having a phone consultation or video consultation just to address any concerns or anything that they might, any questions they might have and plan the session. So I know some will do it over email. So depending on the client, obviously, if the client doesn't want to talk over the phone, it's definitely possible to do it over by email. But I find it's a lot easier and more simple, and it works a lot better to do it just over the phone. And yeah, so and then me personally, I have like during the each session, I'll have like an assistant, and that's my partner actually. But having an assistant, I think that adds value to the experience, because my assistant, for example, she helps a lot with like guiding and placing the animals, or if they have any questions as well, so I can concentrate a lot on taking the pictures. I'm also obviously answering any questions they may have or guiding them, but this way I can really concentrate on taking beautiful pictures and in the moment, right? And even something like super super simple, but sharing like sneak peek of like the back of your camera, I feel that this creates like excitement in the clients, and that kind of puts you in the position that you're kind of the professional, right? So then they're going to be more confident, and they'll know that all the images will be beautiful throughout the rest of the session. So that's something that's really small that might not seem like it has an impact, but I feel that does have a big impact on them. Yeah, so there's like different things like that having like after the session, there's people that will do like in-person sale or virtual sales. I personally don't do that. I have like a custom video that I'll create for my clients. So I have like, I usually like in the past with my past clients, I used to like do this custom video for each client. Now what I do is I have like this pre-made video, and then I'll stitch a custom video at the end of that. So I don't like lose too much time creating the same video each time. But that kind of makes them like the whole process easier and simpler. And yeah, so there's different things like that. Something else is like packaging. So packaging the printed products is something, if you like put a lot of effort in there and just maybe have like little gifts and something to kind of appreciate them for booking a session with you. So yeah, well, like different things like that can help for the whole experience.
Carlos, it sounds like you have not missed a single step. Like you're making sure that your client experience is just seamless and that everybody's having a great time. They're feeling really comfortable with you. They love the photos, of course. And so, of course, why wouldn't they be raving about you to all of their friends and family? You mentioned a bunch of things like they were all super normal and everybody does that. But I want to dive into them more because I think even if there are some parts of your process that other people are doing, they're not doing it in the unique Carlos way. And so I want to dive into those bit by bit, break it down and try to see, how this entire client experience looks like and what parts maybe we can take from that and learn from and implement into our businesses to also have our clients raving as much as yours are about you, obviously. But I am going to save that for the second part of this episode. So let's go ahead and wrap up part one now. Before we do that, please can you let the listener know where they can find you, your work, and if you've got anything for education yet, where we can see that?
Yeah, so you can find me on my Instagram at Carlos_photographe_animalier. So it's in French, but my account is mostly English. And my website is www.carlosamiljour.com.
And don't worry, guys, I will definitely have the links for everything in the show notes. This is season 15, episode 11. So if you miss anything, just head on over to thepetphotographersclub.com/1511 and you'll find the episode there, or you can just search Carlos or any of the things that we've spoken about today, and you will be able to find the links in there. That is it for part one of the episode. If you are a member of the club, of course, you can continue listening to part two either in the member zone or via your private RSS feed in your favorite podcast player. Don't forget, if you're not a member yet, you can join today. It is just $10 a month. And in case you don't know, the price has not changed since we started nearly 6 years ago now. So I think that's a complete bargain, because back then there was just like 2 episodes and there were like very amateur hour. And now there are like, I don't know, all these years worth of episodes. So total bargain. Head on over, join up. On top of all of those episodes and the history there, club membership also includes loads of perks and bonus content. So head on over to thepetphotographersclub.com to find out more.
Thanks for listening to the Pet Photographers Club. To subscribe to the podcast, check out other episodes, and keep up to date, head to thepetphotographersclub.com.